Welcome, everybody. How's everyone doing? Happy Wednesday. Happy Mercury Day. Interesting. We're talking about Mercury today, and Wednesday is ruled by Mercury. Maybe that's why I had such an insightful study session before this. I'm so excited to talk about astrology today because I feel like I cracked a code and I just can't wait until my little spiel gets to that point. But I'm purposefully slowing myself down because I want to bring you guys with me on this little adventure. So let's see who's here today. Feel free to say hello in the chat. Maybe let us know where you're joining from. Maybe let us know what themes have been going on for the last week. Keep it maybe timely. I don't know. Let's see if we're all going through the same thing. I feel like that usually happens. Greetings, Jacqui. She says, greetings, lovely friends. Another Jacqui says, good morning. Charlotte, good morning. Christine, happy Wednesday, peeps. Good morning, Chris. Hello, Teresa. Nice to have you. Joy says, good morning, Jacqui and friends. Karen, good morning from Massachusetts. Another Karen, can't wait to hear what it is. And I don't know if it's going to hit with you the same way that it hit with me. So I'm just going to throw that out there also. But I'm just excited. Joy is from Kansas City, Missouri. Welcome, Joy. Debbie, good morning from Arizona. Having a tough week. Hopefully today will give us some. Lisa Ann, good morning from Wisconsin. Welcome. Diane Om Shanti from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Welcome. Hello, Bonnie. You know what? I'm going to say it now, and then I'll say it again later because I just don't want to forget. So long story short, a week from today, I'm going out of town, and I'll be gone for pretty much the rest of October. And someone the other day brought up doing like those group meditations on my group. My goodness, my brain is fried. I have a group on Insight Timer called Our Spiritual Community, so you're always welcome to join that. And Bonnie triggered this because Bonnie helps me with that group. She has been putting the text recaps of our oracle cards into our spiritual community. And she has already set up a handful of group meditations at this time the weeks that I'm gone. So I'm going to throw that out there now. I'll remind you guys later, but you can just hop into my teacher profile, Our Spiritual Community. The group should be right there. It's the only group that I own or that I'm the leader of. I don't own it. And Bonnie has already set up a bunch of meditations for 8:15 Central Time for the weeks that I'm gone so that you guys can still collaborate even though I'm gone. So thank you, Bonnie, for doing that and for taking lead on that. This is Darla, by the way. If you guys haven't met Darla yet, she's probably just gonna do that the whole time. she's my old lady, sort of. She's almost 9. Jacqui says, feeling a lot of accomplishment while peaceful and rested. Cool. Anne says, hi from Washington. I'm with Deb. Things have been rough. I'm right there with you guys. Last night I had one of those, emotional nights, and my husband was bless his soul, he was trying so hard. He's like, what do I need to do? I was like, I don't know. I had a rough evening and nothing was wrong. That's why I feel like I cracked the code today because it all makes sense to me. Hannah says, good morning from Minnesota. Also feeling that things have been tough right now. Let's see what's going on. Good morning, Patty, and good morning, Anique. Nice to see you. Joy, my birthday was on the 2nd, double sixes. Respiratory issues are slowing me down. Healing and so grateful for my breath. Excited to hear that you're healing, Joy. Yvonne says, good morning all from California. Lately have been feeling an empty feeling, kind of like I lost passion for my wants and desires. Interesting. Sorry to hear that, but there's always life goes like this, if life was always stable, you wouldn't have life, right? This is what happens when your heart stops. So, I don't know. Ride the wave. Awesome. Christine signed up for some of the group meditations. And they're live, too, and you guys can, like, chat afterwards. So that's pretty cool. Good morning, AJ. Greg, hello. Sending everyone love and hugs. Hi, Greg. Good morning, Jennifer. Welcome, welcome. Carmen says, good morning. Just stopped working and looking to figure out my next path. I love that when you just surrender and let it unfold for you. Christine says, crazy dreams and poor sleep for me last night. That's really funny. I saw a TikTok this morning and it was like, why am I always so tired when I wake up? And it's this like old man dancing in the astral plane, and it says like, this is what I'm doing when I'm actually dreaming, and like you're doing so much work while you're dreaming. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so hello Melinda, welcome. Okay, so today we're going to talk about Mercury entering Libra, which is going to happen later this afternoon, this evening. But Mercury is going to speed through Libra. He's only going to be there for 2.5 weeks. So he enters Libra today on October 4th, and he speeds through. He's out of there on October 22nd. So Mercury is the messenger. He is the planet in the sky that rules our whole mental plane. So things that do with our thoughts, our ideas, how we communicate as well. So Mercury has been in Virgo for a really, really long time. He entered Virgo on July 28th. He was there for over 2 months because he had his retrograde in Virgo. So Mercury typically, he's a fast-moving planet. He's the closest planet to the sun, so he moves super fast. And he normally will spend, 2, 3, 4 weeks in a sign. The fact that he was in Virgo for 2 months, I feel like we are beating a dead horse at this point with our thoughts. More to that, because Mercury is the ruler of Virgo. So when he's in Virgo, he's heightened, he's on, he is his full self, he's strong. So Mercury in Virgo can be very analytical with your thoughts. Oh my gosh, just spending so much time, all of August, all of September, just in your mind, analyzing, perfecting everything, looking at the details of everything. Today, he enters Libra, the sign of balance. So, for the last 2-ish months, what have you been analyzing? Oh. What haven't you been analyzing? That's what that laugh was about. What haven't you been analyzing? Have you been analyzing your thoughts and how you think about things? Have you been analyzing your beliefs? Like, should I believe in this? What do I gain if I believe in this? What do I lose if I don't believe in this? It just feels so mental for the last couple months. Joy says she totally agrees about the dead horse. Yeah, just going at it. Yvonne says, I'm a Gemini. Could that possibly explain a lot how I feel? It's for all of us. Mercury in Virgo for 2 months. That's just like so much mind. So now that Mercury is stepping into Libra, the sign of balance, that can help slow you down. Slowing down your thoughts, dipping your toe into the light side. So I'm considering this over-analyzing mental place as the shadow side, and Libra can help us balance that out so it's not 100% analytical. It might be 50-50 now, where you still have your logical brain, but you still get your dreamy side. And so that's, we're going to speed through that. But to get a feel for what the next 2.5 weeks can look like, we can look at the chart when Mercury moves into Libra. And to get more specific, we can look at Libra's ruler, Venus. So what's Venus doing in the sky right now? That's going to flavor Mercury's time through Libra. So, thanks, Christine. I think this is from Charlotte Roos. Who would have thought? It's like a high school kid's store in the mall. So Venus right now, the ruler of Libra, she's in Leo. Venus in Leo feels generous, and she enjoys being in a leadership position, leading from the heart. Leo rules the heart. So Venus has been in Leo since, Venus is June 5th. So since June 5th, I remember talking about that when that first started, and I was talking about how like an outpouring of love is so available to us. Venus, the planet of love, in Leo, the ruler of the heart. So now as Mercury moves through Libra, we're looking at Venus, because Venus is the ruler of Libra. Our thoughts might be more tuned into that Venus and Leo heart space. It might feel more natural to lead with love through these next 2.5 weeks. Bonnie is wearing a Charlotte Russe Cosmic Vibes sweatshirt right now. I love that. So that's what I'm saying about Mercury in Libra. For the next part of the astrology talk, this is going to get a little advanced, a little complex. But this is where my aha moment happened this morning. So we're looking at what's happening with Venus, because Venus rules Libra. Mercury is moving through Libra. Jacqui says I'm going to a benefit next week with the theme of Lead with Love. Of course you are, Jacqui. What else is happening with Venus in the sky right now? Venus is in a position of the apex of what's called a yod. If you've never heard of a yod, it's a pretty rare astrological makeup. My words are escaping me. A configuration of planets. It's known as the finger of God or the finger of fate. So in the sky, this aspect looks like a long triangle. It can look like a witch's hat. So yods happen when, and I told you guys that I was going to get one of those clear dry erase boards so I could draw this out for you, and I did, and I tried it just on my own, and it was way too reflective. So I do want to get some manipulatives so you guys can follow along. But this yod happens with Venus at the apex, so just Venus is at a point, and then there are two planets that are forming a quincunx to her, which is also known as an inconjunct. I don't talk about this because it's not common, it's not a huge pull, but it's uncomfortable. So there's two planets that have nothing in common with Venus that are both putting pressure on her right now. Georgia, is there a planet coming out of retrograde soon as well? Yeah, on the 10th, there's Pluto. Pluto will be stationing direct. So Venus is at the apex, forming a quincunx to Pluto in Capricorn. And then Venus is also forming a quincunx to Neptune in Pisces. I feel like I'm in a calculus class. Me too, Jacqui. So when planets are quincunx or inconjunct, like just feel how that word feels in your mouth. It's clunky, it's chunky, it doesn't feel right to say it. It feels like, ugh, get out. They have no shared qualities, these planets. They're in different elements. They're in different modes, and they're not even the same. Like Venus right now in Leo is fire, so she's in a masculine sign. Neptune and Capricorn, or Neptune and Pluto are in earth and water signs. They're feminine. So like there's nothing in common with Venus and these other planets. And then what completes the yod, what completes the witch's hat, is that there's a sextile between the two planets that are forming that harsh aspect to Venus. So Neptune and Pluto form a sextile. A sextile is like a lower quality trine, like a less strong trine. They're 60 degrees apart. It's harmonious, but not like super strong. But it's because they're both in feminine signs. They're helping each other out. So just bear with me. The yod apex, Venus, this is referred to also as the pressure point, because Venus is receiving this weird energy from both sides. Like both sides, the Pluto and the Neptune, she's just like, everything about you is different than me. Like, why are you staring at me? And I feel like Venus is just like, you're making me so uncomfortable. Like, you need to stop. But the Yod, finger of fate, finger of God, what I believe that this can, how I believe that this can play out is that the pressure from these two planets are causing Venus to express her shadow side at first, okay? So shadow side of Venus can look like jealousy, especially in Leo. Shadow side of Venus can look like withholding love. And shadow side of Venus can also look like overcompensating, overgiving, just pleasing because, like, maybe if I just give you all my love, you'll shut up. But after she goes through this pressure point, the pressure is what allows her to find her highest self in order to shine. So Venus right now is at the apex of a Yod. We're talking about Venus because Mercury is moving into Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus. So the next 2.5 weeks, that might be what you feel playing out. You might feel at first like, ugh, with your love. And then as this pressure builds and builds, that could be like, you know, when you sit with an emotion and then after you feel it and feel it and feel it, then the beauty comes from underneath. That's what I feel like this finger of God, this Yod, is helping us achieve while Mercury transits through Libra. So still talking about Venus. So she has this Yod pressure. She's also receiving a sextile from Mars in Libra. So this is, you know, a little bit beneficial. 60 degrees. They're both in masculine signs, Leo and Libra. Fire and air, masculine energy. So Mars is kind of like, oh, it's okay, Venus, you know, like you can do it. Here, take some of my energy, take some of my passion. And Mars right now, okay, there's a lot going on. Here's a preface. I'm gonna get a little deep, so take what you can and leave the rest. Like, if you don't try to like take all the details, even though Mercury is still in Virgo right now. Like, I think that's where my analytical side is coming out. So Venus is receiving a sextile from Mars, beneficial, helpful energy. Mars today is conjunct the South Node. So the sextile to Venus can help her feel ambition and drive, Mars, to let go, South Node, of people-pleasing, Libra. So I'll say that again. The sextile that Venus is receiving from Mars and the South Node can help her feel ambition and drive to let go of people-pleasing, to let go of putting ourselves last, to let go of making ourselves small in order to please others or keep everyone else happy. Okay? So we have that Venus and Mars sextile, and they are both quincunxing Neptune and Pisces. So here's yet another Yod. Venus and Mars are staring at Neptune, and Neptune is feeling that, like, why are you looking at me? Like, you guys are so different than me. Stop staring at me. So Neptune is feeling that pressure as well. So with Neptune as the apex of that Yod, this can feel like pressure to dream. Neptune is the god of the seas. Neptune is the planet of illusions and distortions. So as this Yod begins, it can feel like shadow side Neptune. It can feel like distortions are clouding our judgment. It can feel like disillusionment, not having a grasp on what's real. Shadow side Neptune is where I feel so much fear of the unknown. And I don't want to go down any rabbit holes, but if you are on that side of the internet, you might know about some fear mongering about something that's happening later today, okay? This is Neptune fear, Neptune pressure point. If you don't know what I'm talking about, awesome, because it doesn't matter, in my opinion. So the pressure of this disillusionment, fear in Neptune will build and build and build until it's released. And then Neptune gets to talk, like Neptune gets to be his highest expression. He's the god of the seas. This is heightened intuition. This is literally power through emotion. Neptune, ruler of Pisces, this comes with enhanced compassion and empathy. So allow, even if it's not in regards to what I was referencing, if you have any fear in your life right now, like it might build and it might be worth it to sit with it and not run with it. Because underneath that fear is literally compassion and empathy this week. I mean, always, but like right now it's because Neptune is that apex. So there's that. I love it, Kirby. Clueless over here. Yeah. What is that saying? Ignorance is bliss. And the more I learn about potential things, the more I want to be ignorant, because my reality is all that I make it. You know what I'm saying? It's also worthy to make note, guys, that there's a third yod in the sky right now. There's three. There's 3 fingers of God right now, which is incredible. Incredible. So we have another yod. The sextile, the floor of the yod is, in this one, is Neptune and Uranus. The apex is Mars, conjunct the south node. All right, so just general yod feel is that the pressure, right? So the pressure point is Mars conjunct the south node. This can feel like shadow side Mars at first. This can feel like anger around what we're meant to let go of, south node. This can feel like that grasping, like, no, I don't want to lose that. It's not time for me to lose that yet. I need that. In Libra, this could be relationships. Not all relationships are meant to be let go of right now, but I'm just going to throw that out there. If I said that and you were like, damn, then that might be your permission slip. Shadow side of Mars, because Mars is the apex of this last yod, shadow side of Mars can look like impulsivity, acting without thinking. This can look like aggression, domineering, taking over. And shadow side Mars can also look like egotistical competition. And I purposefully said egotistical competition because I do believe that a little bit of competition can be healthy, but shadow side of Mars is when you're like, yeah, I'm the best, you suck. That's not what good competition is all about. But when this pressure releases and the finger of fate is pointing at Mars, it's giving Mars the opportunity to shine his highest self. So this is looking like the ambition, Mars, to do what's best for you, right? Because we're letting go of Libra tendencies, we're letting go of people pleasing. So Mars, the highest expression of Mars in this is the ambition to do what's best for you, which will in turn benefit everyone. Okay, so it's like the confidence, Mars, to drive you forward, Mars, to put your needs first. South Node Libra, put your needs first. And not in a selfish way, not to say me first all the time. It's in a way that heals your wounds, addresses your own stuff, so that you are effortlessly beneficial to the universe. That's where I feel like I cracked the code of like, what is putting myself first that's not selfish? It's taking care of myself and healing myself and making sure that I get my needs met so that I don't have to try so freaking hard to please everyone. It just happens naturally because when you're healed, when you lead with your heart and you lead with love authentically, you don't need to try. You're just helpful because you are you. So that's where, yeah, let me know how that all sat with you. And don't you worry, the cards are gonna help us out with all those yods. Thank you, Melissa. She says, great job on describing all this planetary stuff going on. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. Jackie says, basically, and Diane, yeah, Neptune is in all the odds. I wonder, just that whole disillusionment, fear, not knowing what is real, what is false. Jackie says, basically anything you feel at any time is related to something going on with the planets, because there's placement to account for any emotion. In the philosophy of an astrologer, yes. Different schools of thought could describe emotions for different reasons, you know, but I use the stars. That's hilarious, Greg. He says, all these yads make me think of a high school dance where everyone is standing around watching to see who starts dancing first. That's actually, I love that. I love the way that you put that. Who's gonna start dancing first? And maybe, because the yads start with like that pressure, so like, you might dance like an idiot, but then once you do and you allow people to laugh at you, then you have the coolest moves because you don't care what other people think. It's funny. Chris says, fascinating. You mentioned Leo and Libra a lot earlier. I'm a Leo sun, Libra moon, Libra rising. Do you know how the current astrology may affect me? A lot. I also do chart readings. So if you want to get together for a one-on-one chart reading, you can check out my website, which is in my Insight Timer bio. But yeah, way too much to describe right now, but I appreciate you asking. Melissa, yeah, triple yod. I couldn't not talk about that, so I'm glad it resonated. Hannah says, crazy how it's resonating with what's going on. Yeah, Sandy says, this resonates with me a lot, letting go of trying to please everyone. That is the theme of this year and a half. July 2023, so this past July, through the start of 2026, South Node will be in Libra. South Node will be helping us let go of people-pleasing. So, thank you for bringing that up, Greg. He said the app crashed. Bonnie says that the app crashes when Jackie gets it right sometimes, probably affirms your thought. I wanted to bring that up today, actually, because now 2 people have brought it to my attention that they get kicked out of my lives every so often. So I just want to know if that's happening with anyone else. I know Bonnie said that she usually gets kicked out right at the hour mark. And then she can't get back in because my event is only scheduled for an hour. So if that's ever happened to you and you get kicked out at 9:15 Central Time and you can't get back in, it's because of that. So, all right. 3 yads, 3 cards. We're going to pull from different decks today. Oh, shoot, and I forgot to do what I was going to do because I got so excited. I was going to shuffle the cards while I was describing the odds. But I'm just pulling from 3 different decks for the 3 different yads. So I'll just do a quick recap. I'm going to use the Work Your Light Oracle for the Venus apex, where Venus is the apex of the yad. 3 yads walk into a bar. Let me see. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the Venus yad. So this is pressure towards Venus, and she could at first withhold love. She could overgive to just please, like, maybe if I just give you everything you want, you'll shut up, but that's not actually how it's gonna work. But then after the yad alleviates the pressure, then Venus can tune into her highest expression, which is unconditional love. Okay, so there's a card for that. Then for the Neptune yad, where Neptune is under pressure, we're going to use the Gateway of Light Activation Oracle. And the Neptune yad is feeling that pressure from shadow side, or to shadow side of Neptune. This is where that disillusionment, the fear, not knowing what's real can be under pressure. But then once you let that pass, that's when the heightened intuition through your emotions and through your empathy comes out. So I wonder what this Gateway of Light activation can tell us about the Neptune yad. And then our final yod, the apex is Mars and the South Node. For that, we're going to use the Star Codes Astro Oracle. And the Mars yod at the apex, pressure can feel like anger, not wanting to let go, unhealthy egotistical competition. And then the alleviated pressure can be that ambition to actually put yourself first. For the good of all, not just to benefit yourself. You want to put yourself first to benefit everyone effortlessly. Okay, I gotta get going on these cards because we're already a little late. Okay, so the Venus yod. This is a card just for how to best utilize this Venus yod. So feeling the desire to withhold love or to overcompensate with love, whichever resonates with you. And then when this alleviates, it'll feel just like unconditional love leading with the heart. So the card, this one is from Work Your Light. I'll show the boxes before I read each card again if you guys, if you want to take screenshots or remember the decks. So for the Venus yod, the card that came out was Sisterhood of the Rose. And the message is beauty and devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. The Sisterhood of the Rose is a lineage of priestesses and mystics who devoted their lives to serving humanity and seeding light consciousness all over the earth. A cross-section of ancient lineages, it is the path of devotion and beauty. Walking this path means being devoted to seeing and creating beauty wherever you go. The rose symbolizes the heart and the sacred geometry of all life. You are being called to notice the beauty around you, particularly in nature, and hear the whispers of Mother Earth. You are being called to spend more time in nature, as all the ancient secrets lived there. Live. I don't know why I said past tense. You're being called to spend more time in nature, as all the ancient secrets live there. Mother Earth is constantly whispering. Spend time admiring her creations, and you will be rewarded with insight and grace. You are being called to take a little more time to notice the beauty that exists all around you and contribute to the beauty of the world in your own way, too. This could be through your own creations or in the little things like how you dress to picking flowers for your home. Every time you devote your time to creating beauty, you harmonize the planet a little more, and the shift in vibration can be felt. So what this feels like to me, I feel like this is advice for when the pressure of the Venus yod intensifies, when you feel like you have nothing left to give and you're done and you just don't want to spread any more love and you're exhausted. This shows, like, go look for beauty, right? Find the beauty. And if that means going out into nature and looking at just how effortless Mother Earth creates beauty for us all the time. Does that resonate? All I was thinking about is today is going to be the last 80-degree day that we have in northern Illinois, and I will absolutely be outside as much as possible. Yeah, when you're finding it difficult to have a love reserve inside of yourself, nature can help you replenish that. This card also talked about the sacred geometry of the rose. If you're into all that, look for the sacred geometry and maybe let that help you understand how effortless this life is supposed to be, how protected and guided you really are. Looking at the, what is it called? It is a fractal. That spiral. Does anyone know the name of that spiral? You know what I'm talking about? Where everything is the same fraction as it grows. I don't know if that makes sense. Christine loves it. Greg. Kirby, damn it, why? Oh yeah, Jackie, today's the day to get out. Jackie lives by me. Bonnie says, I saw a reel yesterday where two people are each other's accountability buddies for going outside, and they have to send each other a picture. I like that idea, especially as the colder weather approaches. I like that idea too, but I am prepared to hermit during the winter time. I know I should. Yes, Greg, fractal, but there's a name for the spiral. It's called a something spiral, and you can see it in everything. It's in pine cones, it's in snail shells, it's in like literally everything. You can lay it. Thank you, Fibonacci sequence, Erin. That's what it's called. And Karen, thank you guys. I love it. Oh, Jackie says, Bonnie, she might be your accountability buddy. All right. So yeah, Venus Yod. Just spread beauty. That's the advice from Work Your Light. Let me find this. Oh, this is actually in alphabetical order, which is my favorite. It's my favorite. If I could remember the alphabet, that would help. There we go. All right, so this is for Mars, for For the Mars Yod, we are using the Gateway of Light Activation Oracle. Neptune. My goodness, this is for Neptune. For the Neptune Yod, Gateway of Light Activation. Reset. Neptune Yod at first can feel like disillusionment. Shadow side of Neptune can feel like you have no idea, just like so uncertain, and that can cause a lot of fear. Once that pressure alleviates, this is like ultimate intuition, ultimate empathy. It's okay, Elena, and I know S just joined. I always record these sessions and I always put them on my YouTube channel. I would recommend going back and listening to the astrology today. I think it's huge. All right, so Neptune, Yod energy, Arcturian light codes, evolutionary downloads, recalling power, future thinking. Arcturus is a giant red star that is among the brightest stars seen from the northern hemisphere. It is around 25 times larger than our sun and can be found just beyond the Big Dipper. Many believe that there are light beings living on a blue planet orbiting Arcturus who are in the fifth or even a higher dimension. Some think they could be a prototype for what is possible on planet Earth. They are described as blue beings, for when they appear to those who can see them clairvoyantly, they are often blue-skinned or emanating blue light in their auric field. The Arcturian race are here to help those on Earth who feel called to facilitate healing and to move beyond draconian and patriarchal ways of being. They guide us to realize that we have a great opportunity to evolve beyond these limited states. And if we don't, we'll be stuck on a karmic wheel for thousands of years before we get our next opportunity. If you feel called to the Arcturians or this information, it could indicate a past or future incarnation on the Arcturian planet, or that you have Arcturian guides working with you. It can be found behind the Big Dipper, Samantha. You can evolve into a greater state of being now. This begins with how you approach even the most mundane of tasks in your own little universe. Show up in ways that you've never showed up before. Instead of checking out of this planet, it's time to check in. Instead of feeling that life is happening to you, realize that you have a larger part to play. Recall your power. Realize that you are part of the evolution of humanity, and it's time to become the leader you were born to be. It doesn't matter if you're leading yourself or a larger group. The key is to create more loving ways of doing things. Honor the ideas or thoughts that you have been having recently. If you have been hearing high-pitched noises, seeing flickers of light, or sensing that you are being visited by beings in your sleep, know that you are receiving downloads from heaven. Arcturians are here with you. This feels very highest expression of Neptune. This feels extremely just like heightening your intuition, leading with love, right? That's the Neptune rules Pisces. Pisces is like the empathetic. Human words sometimes, they get to me. Empathy, compassion, that's all there. And look at Darla's going nuts right now. She's dreaming. She's validating all this for us. This Neptune Yad wants you to find your intuition. Through all the fear and disillusionment. Like, it's not real. None of it's real, guys. It's as real as you make it. I'll put it that way. Anything that brings you fear is as real as you make it. So maybe that's my defense mechanism of saying it's not real, because I don't desire for it to be real, so it's not real because I don't allow it to be. This is a very high evolved card also. This is like using the energy of oneness. That's another Neptune, highest expression of Neptune is oneness. Living outside of duality, but you have to go through duality to find that. I don't even know what I'm trying to say with that. Because this card was talking about how it's not time to escape the planet. It's time to like settle into it. But use your highest expression of love as you move through the realities of the planet. I hope that makes sense. Oh, she's bark dreaming now. Can you hear her? It's so cute. Erica says, I'm late and we'll go to the recording. I see them in meditation all the time. I love that. That's pretty cool. All right, that was the Neptune card. This Mars card. So Mars, apex of the Mars Yad. It's actually Mars and the South Node. I've just been saying Mars to be concise. But Mars is conjunct the South Node, so the energy and ambition to let go of our karmic past, to let go of shadow side Libra people-pleasing. So at first, the pressure of this Yad might feel like aggression. It might feel like anger of what you have to let go of. It might feel like egotistical competition. Like, I'm going to do this because I'm better than you, or I have to prove that I'm better than this. Aw, Bonnie, our dogs are talking. And then once the pressure of this Yad relieves, the finger of God points to the highest expression of Mars, which is ambition to finally put yourself first, but not in a selfish way, putting yourself first so that you can heal what you need to heal, so that it's effortless service to the rest of the world. Darla is a Zen doggy. She's my most Zen dog ever since we got her. When she goes outside, she just lays down by a tree and smells the air, and she can be there for hours and hours. Greg, that's the dog that ran away yesterday, is Darla. Yeah, she's the best. She lost a leg. We don't know how. We adopted her when she was 3.5, and her, this leg, this right back leg, it was gone, and there's not much history. There's no history, so we don't know how she lost it, but I feel like she went through a traumatic event, and then she was just kind of like, yeah, I guess life isn't that bad. If I survive that, I'll be fine. So, yeah, she's the best. Okay, so the Mars Yad, I guess this is how to best utilize the Mars Yad, feeling that energy, that ambition, that anger maybe at first. How do we utilize that to take it to the highest expression? How interesting that the Venus card came out for this. The message is beloved. Venus symbolizes your heart, romance, and the creative process. It's what attracts you, what you value, and how you value yourself. Venus is inside Earth's orbit, and it takes 224.7 Earth days to complete the journey. Venus rules Taurus and Libra, and can be only in the same sign as the Sun, or 2 signs on either side. Venus is one of 2 planets who appear to rotate backwards, an apt symbol for your heart's unique path. It rotates so slowly that one side is always boiling, the other side cooler. Love blows hot and cold. Soften, charm, open the heart. Investigate how you can make the situation more beautiful, more fair, and lovely. Remember this Venusian truth. People are fascinated by those who find them fascinating. Use diplomacy and seduction and let others come to you. Engage creativity, generosity, and affection. Venus calls you to your heart, to romance, signs to you as a creative muse, asks you what you value, and what you want enough to get yourself in trouble. Come to know your heart. Know what you're passionate about, and when you stir other people's passions. When your heart hurts, you can express the higher notes of Venus through acts of compassion, affection, and creativity. They all become medicine for your sore heart. Pull out the art supplies and paint how you feel. Rescue a puppy. Help a person who needs loving kindness even more than you do. This deck comes with a challenge and a gift, and I'm going to read them today. So the challenge: emotions run strong and passions are intense. Be wary of crimes of passion, love, addiction, or looking for love in material things. If you're fascinated by the superficial aspects of Venus, you can get caught up in appearances or become blind in love. Look deeper. The gift. Venus encourages a loving heart. To heal your own heart and become a Venusian beacon to the world around you, develop what the Buddhists refer to as Maitri, loving kindness, benevolence, friendliness, and active interest in others' well-being. So how to best utilize that Mars conjunct the South Node? Yod Apex, lead with love. It all comes back to it. So interesting that the Venus card came up is because Venus was the one that started this whole Yod discussion, because she's the ruler of Libra. Mercury is entering Libra today, so we looked to Venus to see what these next 2.5 weeks might feel like while Mercury is transiting through Venus's sign of Libra. And the whole thing, it just comes back to love. It comes back to empathy, compassion, and affection. But with Mars conjunct the South Node, Venus is about values as well. I forget to say that a lot when I talk about Venus. But Libra's relationships, okay, these planets are in Libra, that's why I'm talking about Libra. Libra is about relationships, Venus is about value. So what do you value in your relationships? Not necessarily all your romantic relationships, but friendships, maybe partnerships that you're in business, or anywhere that you're collaborating with a one-on-one. Those are Libra themes. What do you value? And are you receiving what you value in that relationship? Is it the superficial? Is it the material things? Are you in a relationship because they buy you things? If you value that, cool, go with it, own it. Just because society tells you to be ashamed of that, F them. Or do you value a deep connection? Are you getting that in this relationship? Are you getting that deepness that you crave? If not, it could be addressed. It could be a discussion that comes up. Or it could be that maybe Venus, you are not giving enough of that. Because if you don't lead with it, then maybe the other person doesn't know that you want it, and vice versa, and it's a whole thing. But how to utilize this Mars apex yod when you feel that anger and that aggression because of something you have to let go of. Love yourself. Self-love, self-compassion. Treat yourself like a toddler sometimes too. I love that quality. Like, oh, Jackie's cranky. Does she need a nap? Does she need a snack? You know, are her clothes fitting her okay? Like, treat yourself like a toddler in that sense. Get your very, very basic needs met before you try to analyze the rest of the situation. Your inner child, yeah. Speaking to your inner child. I love that, Joy. She says, I use this deck every Sunday to set the theme and the tone for the coming week. The Astro, Star Codes Astro. I love it. Oh, Julie, yeah, halt. Are you hungry, angry, lonely, tired? Just take a pause. Halt. Check yourself before you try to analyze the whole situation. That was a lot. The descriptions for those cards will be in our spiritual community. Thank you, Bonnie, for adding the descriptions there. I'm going to pull one more card for Mercury and Libra. It's what the actual event was about today. But before I do that, I want to remind you guys that I'm going to be gone. So I'm leaving my house next Wednesday. First, I'm going on a 10-day silent meditation retreat. And I will have no access to anything. And I'm so excited. Like, I don't even have access to other people for the most part. Yeah, my phone is locked away. My computer's going to be at home, turned off. I can't even bring a journal. That's like the oddest thing. So it's literally just me and my own thoughts for 10 days. What I mean when I say I won't have access to other people is, like, it's supposed to be a very introspective 10 days, so I'm not even supposed to, like, look at other people. It's just interesting. So I'm going to be gone for that, and then when I return, I'm going on a trip with my husband. So I'm going to be gone from Insight Timer for the rest of October after next week. In the meantime, our good friend Bonnie here is championing some group meditations. So in my group on Insight Timer, our spiritual community, they have that feature where, like, you can do scheduled meditations, group meditations. So Bonnie has taken the liberty already to schedule a bunch for the upcoming weeks for the same time that I always come here on Insight Timer. So about an hour ago, 8:15 Central Time. So you can go into my Insight Timer bio to find my group, or you could just search the groups. It's called Our Spiritual Community. And yeah, join those meditations and still get that group camaraderie while I'm gone. Baby dog has pain on her foot. Now she just likes to lick. It calms her down to lick. Jennifer, I'm going on what's called a Vipassana retreat. There are Vipassana retreat centers all over the world. They're donation-based retreat centers. But Vipassana is like an ancient Indian meditation technique, I believe. I went there once in 2017. And I left early for reasons that no regrets. But yeah. I'm excited for that. Thank you, Jackie, for your donation. I'm going to pull one last card from the Animal Apothecary deck, and we are going to ask which animal spirit would like to be embodied during Mercury's 2.5 weeks in Libra. So feel free to send your energy into this deck, asking for an animal that would like to be embodied while Mercury moves through Libra. April did one in Thailand. It was amazing, but I only did 5 days. It was enough. Yeah. When will this be up on YouTube? Within a few hours. That's normally what I do right after here is I clip it up and I put it up and I just gotta wait for it to upload. So within an hour or two, usually. If you guys have been enjoying today's session, if you'd like to offer an energy exchange in the form of a donation, they're always appreciated, never expected. Thank you, Jacqui, for sending one through. If you would like to support me in other ways, you can follow me on Insight Timer. You can follow me on my YouTube channel. You can interact with my social media stuff, so commenting on my YouTube, sharing it, liking it, all that kind of stuff. It gives me like street cred, like internet street cred. You can also follow me on my Facebook. Lakeside Living is the name of my business, I guess. You can also just search my name. I'm pretty easy to find everywhere. I have a TikTok. You can check out my link tree in my Insight Timer bio to see everything that I'm doing. I also co-host a podcast, which our next episode is coming out on Friday. I interviewed a lady about just letting go of fear. Oh my gosh, letting go of fear and changing your mindset, and how she's a mindset coach. She's about my age. She had a health diagnosis that helped her change her whole mindset on life. So it's a pretty cool episode. It'll be out on Friday. But we are on YouTube and Spotify. The podcast is called A Werewolf 444U. Yeah, but check out my link tree. I do way too much stuff for me to spend 20 minutes talking about it every day when I'm here. Yeah. I got an email list thing that you can sign up for too. That's where all my cool stuff comes out. I'm just kidding. Christine and Joy and Bonnie, thank you guys for your donations. I appreciate it. John, silent retreats can be hard at times, but rewarding also. Bring it. Bring it. I also kind of have senioritis right now, guys. Like, I know this is coming, and I'm so excited to literally just be with myself. I just want to be with myself. And it's like pulling teeth to get me to do responsible things right now. Like, prepare for this retreat. Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very much looking forward to this. So what animal can we embody while Mercury moves through Libra? It's card number 17. It's from the scorpion fly. And the message is let go, bury. Jacqui, didn't this come out for you at that Awake Festival? Scorpion fly is the first on the scene when there is a corpse. When scorpion fly appears in your reading, it is a sign that there is something outmoded that no longer serves you. When we hold on to something that has died, we cannot return the energy it once had. Instead, it takes on a different kind of life. Maggots begin to lay eggs, the bacteria take over the decomposing process, and the new life has a rancid smell. What thing or belief are you holding on to that no longer fulfills your purpose? What do you need to let go of and finally bury in the dirt? When we give a proper burial and goodbye to what no longer serves us, it allows the natural process of decomposition to happen. It is through this letting go that something unexpected and beautiful can germinate. In burying what does not serve you, you create a space for something more profound to grow. You become stronger by weeding through what is no longer contributing to your growth. Scorpion fly's medicine shares that a new development is waiting to blossom. But first, you must sacrifice and bury the unneeded that is taking up space. Trash the old and outdated. Okay, guys, it's time to bury something. With Mercury in Libra, right? We asked about Mercury for this card. It's a thought. This is a self-limiting belief that you have been holding on to for I don't know how long, but it's something that you've been hanging on to, and it's run its course. A self-limiting thought, an example of one would be like, I have to master this before I can teach it, right? Is that true? No. It keeps you safe. A self-limiting thought is like, I'm not what people are looking for, so I shouldn't do that because there's other people who are better than me. Is that true? What's better? And like, people will listen to you, right? There's an audience for everyone. People vibrate with your vibe all the time. A self-limiting thought can be like, I've never been able to make enough money, so I'm always going to be poor, and this is just what my life looks like. Is it true? No, but that thought may have kept you safe in the past, but now it's time to let it go. So, Jacqui, how do you let go of these self-limiting beliefs? First, how do you identify the self-limiting beliefs? You got to watch yourself. You got to catch yourself. You have to start questioning your thoughts. Because your thoughts are little tricksters. Your thoughts are liars. Sometimes. Most of the time. Your thoughts are what get in the way of your intuition. Notice how I point to my heart when I say intuition. That wasn't meant to be. That was an accident. So whatever you feel like is holding you back, sit with it. That's what I recommend. Sit with it. What I would do if I was going to let go of a self-limiting belief, I would identify my self-limiting belief. Let me do like a personal experience. I have to get everything done and perfect before I leave for Vipassana. I have to finish my checklist so that when I get back, I'm not bombarded with a full inbox and a bunch of to-do lists, okay? There's my self-limiting belief, and it's limiting because I'm holding myself back from following my passion now because I think I need to get everything done before this due date, okay? So what I can do with that thought is sit with it, feel it, and then feel the energy of that thought and try to find where it came from. Okay, when was a time in my past that I had this thought and it served me? You know, like sometimes these thoughts serve you well. They get you to where you are today. But you can identify where that came from, and then you can take that and go a step further back. And then if you feel like there's another step further back, go further back. Just use your intuition until you feel like, okay, this is where that thought came from. This was a situation where I was taught you have to make sure that your whole to-do list is done before you have fun. You know, and this, when I do it meditatively, I get better answers because I'm using my intuition. I'm not using my brain. You can journal about this stuff too. Then once you're there, you can heal that part of yourself. You can use your current, higher, evolved, emotional being to have a conversation with that little version of you who was taught you had to act this certain way in order to get this certain thing. You can validate, like, yeah, sure, maybe in these situations in your life that worked out for you, but I think it's run its course. I think that thought has run its course for you because at this point it's holding you back from doing XYZ. And then you can do whatever ritual feels intuitive, right? A lot of people use the violet flame. That's what came out on Monday. Putting yourself into the violet flame, transmuting energy, transmuting thoughts that are no longer serving your highest good. Letting it go into the ether to maybe serve someone else who needs that thought in this moment. That's why I hang on to nothing is good or bad. Right? If you think that a limiting belief is bad, it's not. It's just not serving you right now. But you can let that go into the universe because maybe someone else needs to learn that lesson right now. So you can like gift it to them. Does that make sense? That's why I also like to not like shame my old thoughts. Like, oh, how dare you think that that's a good thing for you? No, it brought me to where I am now. It served me until now. So now I can go for someone else. But while Mercury is in Libra, maybe... Oh, and I had another when I was reading that card because Mercury, while he's in Libra, will come conjunct over that South Node. Letting go of people-pleasing. Letting go of keeping the peace. Making yourself small to keep the peace. Holding back your own needs to make sure that no one else is upset. Yeah, our thoughts are going to go right over that need to let that stuff go. So, that's interesting. Very cool. Thank you guys for being here today. The descriptions will be in our spiritual community. Thank you, Bonnie, for doing all of that. Appropriate image for the season. Oh, I get that because it's a coffin and it's almost Halloween. That's funny. That's so Libra. Libra is also an air sign, and air is all about the mind. So I feel like this might be a pretty mental 2.5 weeks, but like not like the Virgo mental where you're analyzing every thought that comes in. This is like a clearing out. I feel like a I'll be back on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday next week to prepare you all for me not being here for a while. I'm just going to overview all the astrology that's happening for the rest of October in next Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So feel free to hang out. The YouTube replay will be up. Just search my name on YouTube. And that's it. And I think that's all. Christine says this resonated with me. Love the visuals to help as well. Beautiful. Resonated with Fabiana. I love it. Greg, a podcast collaboration? Perhaps. Perhaps. I am back in the podcast swing. Yeah. Reach out to me in November, if you can remember. And anyone, if any of you guys want to be on my podcast, not my podcast, I have it with my good friend Vicky. We do it together. But we interview people who have been, and Bonnie, actually, we need to talk. We interview people who are walking their spiritual path and ask their story. So if you have a story that you want to tell, if you feel like you have something that you want to share with humanity, send me an email and we'll make it happen. Melissa says, oh man, good examples. I have those self-limiting thoughts. Good advice, good guidance. We all do. We all have self-limiting thoughts. And even when you feel like you've got rid of all of them, there's gonna be more down there. It's like gifting things you no longer need, Christine. Yes, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Love the concept of letting go of a pattern of thought so that someone else can utilize it. This is why I try to not describe anything as good or bad, because it's not bad. You just don't need it anymore. But it's energy. It's, it has use and value. Don't forget to check out our spiritual community to see when Bonnie has scheduled those group meditations so that you guys can hang out while I'm out of town. But I'll see you next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Sending love to all. Namaste. I'm curious to see how these powerful yads impact us today. We got three yads in the sky. That's nuts. I think that's crazy. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for your chats. Thank you guys for doing that little troubleshooting about the app crashing. I see that Greg is still here and we're past the hour mark. Bonnie, 11 minutes ago, maybe. My math lost me. Thank you guys for all your donations. I appreciate everything all of the time. I'll see you next week. Have a nice weekend.